Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Potsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament of the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version of the Christian Bible in order to put together the prophecy of Israel, which I call the book of Zion, because the prophecy itself foretold that the woman who put the prophecy together would write a book about it after she went to prison for selling marijuana, which I did. So now that I've written my book and published it, which was the last thing that I was supposed to do in order to actually be Zion, and that is what I've done with this video series. Now, in my last video, I ended it with a brief description of what it would be like to live according to the ways of the gray, which is how it will be like, what it'll be like in Zion. So I'm going to tell you a story, paint you a picture of what it would be like in the day in the life of a Zionite in the nation of Zion. Now, because my people get high, that's the priesthood. That's the people that I was sent here to champion. So I'm going to use a pot smoker as an example. I'm going to take you through the day in the life of a family. Hopefully I'll have time to do that. And this family begins with the mother. Now in this society, she's poor. I don't care what color she is. She has children. Doesn't matter how many. She has children. She's single. And that's because one or more father of her children has abandoned her and the children. So her life sucks in this day and age. But her life in Zion will be much, much different. So let me tell you a little story about my friend, my Zionite friend. We'll call her Carol, just because we have to have a name for her, okay? So Carol gets up in the morning, and the first thing she hears is gently flowing water. And she wakes up, and the lights just dimly come on and start to increase in volume as she becomes more conscious, because her room senses her waking up, and it's actually given her that little bits of light to do so, because that's her alarm clock. She doesn't have to set it because it's already programmed. So she gently wakes up to the sound of gently flowing water, which is coming from the embedded waterfall in her room. And her walls are surrounded by living plants. That is her source of food and her source of oxygen. And when she gets awake enough to get up, she thinks about the lights coming on, and they come on, and she thinks about the news. And so the one of the wall in front of her brings up the news. And so now she's listening to the local news report while she gets dressed, showers, and gets herself ready. Now, in the meantime, the same thing is happening in the rooms of her children. Okay, the children are all waking up because they've been lit. Their lights are coming up too. So she finishes her preps. Now it's a lot quicker than it is now because she's not wearing any makeup, because makeup is something that she can't afford. Not because not because of money, but because it takes too many resources and it pollutes the earth too much, and because it's fake. And so she gets ready for her day. She goes into the kitchen and she begins to prepare her morning meal. She goes to the refrigerator and she gets out everything for her breakfast. Now, there's no cereal, but there's pre-cooked snacks. There's food that she cooks. It's just like normal in that respect. except for her fresh garden that's around her walls, that's providing her with oxygen, is also providing her with fresh, living vegetables to eat. And her children, there's fruits in there too. And so the majority of their food comes from their garden that is in their rooms where they live. And their when they go to the bathroom, everything that comes out of them is used to fertilize their plants. Their water comes from a filtered water system that is part of their plant life, their walls. And their walls are all made of a material that is like a TV projector. So as she enters a room, her news feed follows her. So she's listening to the news feed, watching it on the wall that she's facing as she's preparing breakfast for her children who get up because the light's too bright for them to stay asleep. And so they get up and they get ready for their day, and they're looking forward to their day because each and every one of them has a schedule that they're going to go be with their friends. They're going to go learn really cool stuff that they're interested in because they're challenged in their school. They don't have to worry about anything because everything is provided for them, including entertainment that is going to be a reward for their compliance, or not their compliance, but for their innovation and their ambition. They earn the right to go to the amusement park that is provided for just that purpose. Good deeds, good behavior is rewarded by fun that doesn't cost anything because there's no money. And so the kids are eager for their day because they're going to go be with their friends. They're going to go learn stuff at their own pace and be challenged. And they're going to have teachers that are nannies. And while their parents are off doing the necessary things for their livelihood, first their government job, where they work for their guild and they do the necessary supply chain economic stuff for the basic society that they live in. And then it's like they're going to do their morning job and then they're going to go have lunch wherever they want with their kids, maybe if they want that. And then they're going to go to their afternoon job, which is their private job, where they are going to earn the necessary credits to buy all the luxuries in life. Now, all the basic things are provided: daycare, education, transportation, a job, qualifications, training, the advancement. If it's like if you're willing to work for an advancement, if you pass the test that's set up for that advancement, you automatically get that advancement. There's no prejudice because the taker of the test and the giver of the test don't know about prejudice because it's all based on personal abilities, on craftsmanship, on making things that last so that they don't have to be remade. And everybody is equal in that they all have the same opportunities within their chosen fields. Their chosen fields are determined by their education, what they have chosen to pursue in their education. So these kids that are in school, they already have a dream of what they're going to do with the rest of their life. And every moment of every day is geared towards that goal. So by the time they finish school, they will be entry-level apprentices in their chosen field. So whatever they dream of becoming, as long as they have the innate abilities, the talents required, the aptitudes required, they will be able to go into that field if that field is open to them. So they will be taught 3 or 4 baseline skills so that they going into different guilds, so that whichever guild accepts them, they will have the basic knowledge of. And they will be able to pursue those other 3 interests in their off hours. Because you can belong to more than one guild if you want. So the kids, after they get finished with their schooling, the next thing that they're going to do, and as part of their daily lives, they're going to go spend quality time with their dads. Because their dads live in the neighborhood where they are housed. Because in this society, no parent is allowed to abandon their child. Every parent has an obligation as a parent to be part of their child's life. And so they spend the morning with their mother, the afternoon with their father, and the evening with their friends. So their daily lives are structured around their education, their goals in life, their social interactions with their friends, their fun, and their familial ties. So the mother does not have to worry about anything. She gets up in the morning knowing that her children are going to have nutritious food to eat at hand. She knows that when she drops those kids off at school, at the daycare, that there is going to be competent nannies, teachers, to protect and provide for those children. They know that while they're at work, their children are well adjusted because they have their father in their lives. They know that when they get home in the evening, they're they're not going to be stressed about anything because there's food, there's clothing, there's housing. Their friends are all around them. They share the burden of raising their children with the father of their children. And it's not a burden because the children have every advantage that they could possibly want. They're not only intelligent in the basic sense, but they're streamlined into the best knowledge that they can have in their own interests. So that a child who has a lower IQ won't have to look like an idiot to his classmates because he'll never be in a peer with those higher intelligent classmates of his own age. Age is not a criteria of intelligence, people. That's not how you should raise a child, teach a child. Not by age, but by intelligence, by skills, by interests, by talents. Teach them the basics, but then don't try to force them to learn beyond their capacity, and don't put a price tag on their higher intelligence. So the mother goes to bed at night with a clear conscience and with no worries because her life is awesome. And that's what it's like in Zion. That's my dream. Join me in my dream. Let's create Zion. May the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong. May you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Be happy. Find your joy. Pursue it. Stay happy and high if you did drugs, because you have every right and reason to. I love you. I'll see you later now, because you know me. I'll never say goodbye.